Hey guys, this is Lindsay and welcome back to my channel. Yeah, very different change of environment. We're in my bedroom. I thought that maybe we can start doing this now, like incorporating an intro and talking to you guys more as friends in this community, because I didn't really anticipate how much we're gonna grow. I essentially just started this channel like as a hobby, and this is where it took us. So I'm kind of excited, a little scared, but excited. So pretty much this month I decided to do my plan with me, curated around bunnies, the Lunar New Year, purple, gold, pink, all that good stuff. But of course I forgot that Lunar New Year is in February. It's in January. That's the whole problem. I keep thinking that it's in February, but it's really not. So I just stuck with it. I like it. Hopefully you guys like it too. And honestly, it wouldn't be Lindsay if I'm not here making mistakes, but that's okay. That's what makes us authentic.
So we're planning for February, and this month I took it upon myself to do pretty much what Lindsay does best, doodling. So I went ahead and did this cute bunny Japanese dessert bread type of theme, just because I really wanted to do neutrals. Neutrals are definitely my thing. I don't know, it just makes my heart flutter. But I was actually also inspired to do bunnies because I think like 2 months ago I ended up doing the Notebook Therapy's lucky bag, and when I actually got my hands on it, everything in there was so pretty. But definitely it was bunny themed, because this year, Lunar New Year, it's rabbits. So I wanted to kind of get my hands to do this theme, because last year I kind of missed out and I saw everybody's like Lunar New Year themes, and I got so upset because it's like I wanted to do that and could not do that. So I vowed that we're gonna do it this year. However, your girl is not very bright, and the reason why I say that is because, of course, like the person that I am, I forgot that Lunar New Year was in January, not February. What was I thinking? I don't even know. But I got so discouraged. It's like, do I do a different theme? It doesn't make sense. But ultimately, like, my brain just could not let go of this theme. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it for me, because why not? I don't know. I can't really be on the bandwagon for like Valentine's Day or anything like that, because I hate being a bandwagon hopper, and I just kind of want to do my own thing. And lately I've noticed that doing bullet journaling for almost 3 years now, I'll be 3 years in June, but I feel like I've kind of developed my style. Very weird to say, but it's normal. I kind of feel like for my bullet journal personally, I treat it more like a sketchbook. I kind of just draw whatever I want and kind of make something out of it, versus stressing every month about having some type of cohesive theme. It just was never good for me mentally, because it just stressed me out way too much. And I'll be honest, bullet journaling should not stress you out. And if it is, you're definitely going to be burnt, because you're not going to even want to use it, and it kind of defeats the purpose. So finally, I just feel like I just want to do what I want to do, and that is basically draw. A lot of the stuff that I did for the theme was not planned, and I kind of just did it on a whim. I added some grids where I felt like it was missing something in some empty spaces, added some stars because I always add stars. But then, to be super random, I added cherry blossom petals. Why? I don't know. It just looked really nice, and it played on my color palette. And I just realized you guys probably don't get the interpretation of my picture for my cover page, but basically I decided to do like those two fluffy Japanese like pancakes that, you know, when you touch it, it just like jiggles everywhere. But trying to make the bunny look like almost like a custard or some type of like filling. I don't know if that's how you would eat the pancakes, I'm not sure, but I just thought it was cute. I thought it was a moment. So excuse me if I'm wrong, but I definitely went and took some, I guess, pictures for inspiration on how to draw the whole idea. But yeah, definitely, if you did not know, they were Japanese pancakes. So if they look trash, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to make it look very fluffy, airy, and just cartoony, to be honest. For my calendar page, I went back to doing it in a one-page style versus two, just because I felt like, even though, yes, hypothetically I had more space last month than this month, but I only really use the calendar more for like my work schedule, and I wanted to have more space for when I have to write things like ideas, important dates, errands to do, things like that. So I actually wanted to revert back, but also I still wanted to implement a lot of the elements of my theme into, I guess, these preset, I guess like layouts in a way. So what I mean by that is, for the calendar, of course, Monday and Tuesday in the beginning of the month is really more for January, and then at the end of the month, Thursday, Friday, and so forth, that's March. So I actually went ahead and put washi tape for the days that are not February. One, because I don't really need to look at those, and two, I actually like the, I guess, like play on elements that it gives, because it has these really cool patterns and the colors are still on par with theme. I like the fact that it's different, so it gives it more of a visual contrast, but in a good way, not in a bad way. But it almost looks like little like flowers that you'll see on like kimonos. I don't know, that's at least from what I've seen watching like anime and stuff, because for some reason the patterns on the washi tape give me like Demon Slayer vibes. If you've seen the Entertainment District, oh my god, like I love that. It was epic. If you guys have seen the fighting scene, oh my gosh, I lost my voice from screaming out of excitement. It was just A1. But that's what these like patterns give me. So I'm kind of like glad it intentionally did that. I'm like losing my words because I just got too excited to think about Demon Slayer, because the new one, the Swordsmith's arc, it's coming out this year and I'm so excited. I purposely, okay, I'm gonna go off on a tangent, but I purposely don't watch the new releases of any anime like episodes, because I'm super impatient. I cannot wait a week to get a new release. I need it now. So I will wait weeks and just make sure I don't see like any spoilers online. But once I feel like there's maybe like 4 episodes left of the season, then that's when I'll go and binge watch it, because I just can't. I have no patience. Even though I had friends in the past beg me to watch it with them, I just can't, because I'll die out of waiting. It's so sad, but it's so funny. But I'm gonna go back to the bullet journal. So yeah, at this point I really incorporated a lot of the materials that I got from the mystery box, and definitely gave it a very scrapbook moment. I did incorporate some doodles. I didn't want there to be so many bunnies everywhere, almost like someone threw up bunnies. Like I just didn't want to go that route. So I went ahead and like make this this macaron cookie. Oh gosh, I'm like losing my English. But basically I made this cookie after a bunny like little play on look. I saw it on, I think, Pinterest, and I loved the idea, so I was like, oh my god, that's so cute to incorporate that without like drawing a million bunnies everywhere, because I would get bored and find my new love find my new hatred for rabbits. Not that I hate them, but I just didn't want to like go overboard. So yeah, now we made our way to my habit tracker, and I loved how I did it last month. Like, I don't know, I felt like Einstein, like I just cracked the code on something because I loved it so much that I just threw it back in for this month. And even though I tried so hard not to put too much color because I wanted to do something completely different with my playlist, I still kind of curated it based on the colors for my theme. I just went ahead and in the header section kind of drew like more bakery things. Like I drew a loaf of bread or a baguette, whatever you want to call it, and then I went ahead and also drew this slice of loaf bread with butter on it because if you have not known, I'm a sucker for carbs. I feel like this is like my guilty pleasure. Like I'm just letting all the skeletons out of the closet, but I love bread. I love pasta. I love all that stuff. So I was actually pretty excited to be drawing bread, and it actually is pretty much like up my alley in terms of like color palettes. Like I said, I love neutrals, so it worked with that. And I just kind of used a little bit of the scrapbooking material to create a header. So I made it very short and sweet, nothing super special, but I definitely wanted to give a scrapbook moment to my playlist. Now, I'm not the best when it comes to scrapbooking. I'm definitely still trying to find my version of how to scrapbook. At least I'm more comfortable with my materials. Before, I felt so intimidated. I did not know what I was doing. I felt like no matter where I placed anything, it was wrong or the placement was wrong. So at least now I have a good understanding of how I want things to go personally for me. And yeah, so if you guys have never really scrapbooked, please don't be intimidated, don't be afraid, just play with how things kind of lay out. For me, my tip would be to make sure that you layer your materials because it'll make it look more interesting, but also just make sure that there's really no harsh lines. Like if there's a sharp line, add another layer on top of it and it'll look very intentional. So that's my key to scrapbooking. I don't know if it's right, but at least it works for me. And yeah, so this is my playlist. So out of all my songs that I listed, I definitely would recommend, if you have Spotify, to listen to Confession, the gift version. It is so pretty. It is so it makes you feel some type of way. I don't know how to describe it. It definitely gives me the vibes of, when you watch like one of those animated movies like Your Name or Weathered by You, anything like that. This song sounds like it could be in the soundtrack. It's insane. Or I'm really about to make you guys in your feelings. If you've watched The Girl Who Leaped Through Time, that's how that song made me feel. I felt like my heart got ripped out and then just disintegrated, because if you guys have not watched that movie, I would recommend it if you need a good cry. I watched it back in the day when YouTube used to upload movies in 3 parts. Yeah, that just shows how long I've been on YouTube watching, but that's where I watched the movie and I had no idea what it was, but oh my god. Yeah, it's not for those with a weak heart. It will get you in your feelings. But I'm just gonna go back to the weekly spread. So yeah, here we are with my weekly spread. I didn't really have no rhyme or reason to do anything. I definitely made it more spontaneous, different, whimsical, to play on the theme. So I kind of just focused on having this main doodle in the corner and just having a good color coordination where things were. I alternated between having harsh lines from the Tombow Furunosuke pen to having some free space, having some grid line work. Definitely very scrapbooky, just in a, authentic way and not really relying so much on the materials. So I think this was a better representation of what I wanted my cover page to look like. You could tell it looks like a fluffy pancake. The other one, it probably looked like a biscuit or a cream puff, but definitely my thought process was those Japanese puffy pancakes. And I do love how the pink flower petal on its head actually looks like a flower petal. I don't know why, but like when I drew the flower petal on my cover page, it looked like a little like puff of hair, and now I can't unsee it, and you probably can't unsee it too. But that was the one thing that kind of like, I wouldn't say upset me, but I was just like, oh no, I can't unsee this now. It's like that meme a few years ago where it's a picture of a dress and they were asking people's opinions like, oh, is this a blue dress or is this a gold dress? And once you saw the color that you saw, you could not unsee it. And that's kind of how I felt. Like it's forever going to taunt me that I accidentally drew a bush of hair on my bunny's head. If you guys have any theme ideas for next month, please leave me a comment down below. I've been thinking about doing a subscribers pick my theme type of idea because I think it's really cute. I think it's a good challenge, to be honest, but also I feel like from, I guess, March, sometimes March, up until June, I never know what I want to do for themes. Especially, let's not talk about April. April is just that one month for me that I have such bad like artist block that I never know what I want to do. And every time I try to make something, I have such a great idea, and once I get it down on paper, it's horrible and I end up hating it. And it's one of those like, we tend to pretend April doesn't exist, but this year I might want to do something different. So if you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comments down below, because it might be picked for March or April. I'm not sure yet because I have some ideas, but again, around this time of the year, they never turn out great. And here's the final flip through. I'm so glad I was able to get this theme down because I can actually say I made it for the Lunar New Year. Even though I'm a whole year late and a month off, better late than never, right? But I'm glad how it turned out, and I'm surprised. I didn't think I had it in me to do a straight purple theme, but all in all, I love it. So until next time, bye!